everybody, welcome back. This is episode 3 of When Psychics Talk. So today is, there's Rhinny again. Today is our 3rd episode. So yesterday I filled you guys in on, give you an intro of twin flames and past lives. And today we just want to acknowledge that it is the full moon. And a lot of energy is coming up for those experiencing a lot of their shadows coming up, right? Because moon energy correlates with the body, because we're 80% water. Just like how the moon affects the ocean, we are 80% water. And so it's interesting, this morning when we logged on again, I was wearing all black and Rhinny was wearing all black. And within this last day, both of us has gotten some major breakthroughs within our past lives, within our current relationships, and how we're going to move forward and how to explain it to everyone here watching, because you're curious. We're evolving, we're learning, right? We don't have all the answers, but we're going to do the best that we can on how we manage to piece it together. What is your perspective on past life and then twin flame?
Past life and twin flame. So there's 2 things we're talking about here. So let's establish this is the lifetime we're in, and we have past life. Most of us do. Some of us actually don't. So for Tammy and I, we have past life that we know of. And some of the signs that you know that you have past life is you have a lot of deja vu, or you have familiar feelings of a certain person that you meet. You know right away, it's like, yeah, somehow I know you, or you just somehow know them. That's like good indicator of this is someone's happens that show up, have a deeper connection with you in the past life. Now with people, anyone that you encounter in this lifetime has a past life connection with you. It just depends on how strong it is. Mm-hmm. And especially the closest one to you, people that you fall in love with, people you're born into, your family, or people you're in the relationship with, these are the ones that have deeper connection. So that's what past life and this lifetime comes together, if you will. So then whatever that you have in the past life, how in my experience so far is I'm clairvoyant, and I can see, there are times that I can see that we were in past life together. I can actually visualize, I see the whole image of our times together. Who was he, who am I, and multiple people. And I've also had experiences where my past life spirits channel through me, because I'm also a medium. My own spirits in the past lifetime came through and told me things about one of my boyfriends. And I died in his arm many times, very dramatically, like Shakespeare style. So these are the things that really taught me, wow, past life energy is around. And it's going to come back over and over for us to complete that karma. So that's what I got for past life. Now, twin flame, this twin flame is someone who you have a connection with that is meant for you to complete karma with in a more challenging way. Traditionally, that's what we see. Now, can a twin flame be a soulmate? It's very possible. It depends on your personal development. It depends on your growth, your healing. I have had experience where twin flame became soulmates, and it feels like crap in the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Right, because twin flame is like total opposite each other, right?
It's
yin and yang.
very, very opposite. You don't find much commons in each other's, or you have a certain commons that brought you together, common interests or commons like life experiences. But then the process of getting to know each other it's kind of rough. It's because it's bringing out a lot of triggers and the things that you're like just either pissed about or sad about. And sometimes it's not even things that you notice or you have experienced in this lifetime. So I have more story on that, but that's like the base ground of, past life and twin flame, because they're here is a connection in a nutshell. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm. And it's interesting, like how we even came to our understanding of our discovery of our past life is like, we were just, again, like our first episode, we're just like jokingly talking about twin flames, like, oh, here's your perspective. This is back in like October last year. And so that came through, and we have the tools on how to check in with our intuition, right? So when I say, hey, I think we're twin flames, both of us checked in, I got a yes, you got a yes, and we trust it. Like, oh, shoot, where is this connection from? And it was you that sent me the video from back in Rome, Greece, all these ancient times, where male to male relationships, back there, it was very common.
Dirty facts about history that school probably didn't teach you. Part 6. Greeks, Romans, and Spartans were really into anal for both sexes. Male warriors would do it as a sign of camaraderie and brotherhood. And women...
Yeah, it's a bonding practice. It didn't have the stigma of today, or it's some sort of sickness or some sort of like you went sideways and wonky. It was a practice of bonding, a brotherhood, or even it's a connection, a deeper connection in manifesting in a physical form.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you know what's fascinating, right? As I'm learning all this, I tuned into my human design, which has always been my field, but now I dug into like what kind of type my human design is. And I discovered I was a generator. And coincidentally, right? But nothing's really coincidence. It's the universe trying to talk to us. One of the YouTubers I clicked on, and she mentioned like 75 to 80% of people are generators, right? So if a generator, here's the thing you want to know if you're a generator. Our sacral chakra is our main motor, which the sacral chakra is sensuality, sexuality, connecting to your body, connecting with others. When that is blocked, and I can tell like mine is something I've been working on for quite a while, like my sacral, and growing up in culture, Asian, like we don't really embrace our sexuality or body. And if 75 to 80% of people are stuck in if they're generators and they're not in tune with their sexuality because the media, the collective makes it so taboo. Imagine how many people are dimming their light. Mm-hmm. Right. And that just like sank in with me. Is like when this sacral chakra is open, you just feel this freedom, you feel this light lit up. And again, religion says, oh, close your legs, repent, and donate to us.
Yep. Yeah. Well, if you look at sexuality, creativity, all of that in the sacral, it's about ownership.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about the confidence in you, how much are you accepting yourself, loving yourself, and owning yourself. And that's where you really tap into the wealth of knowledge and wisdom where you get to contribute to the world.
Especially with generating types, that is our main motor.
Yeah. That's right.
It's very powerful, right?
So like to tap into that, it takes a person that's why in this generation now, in this century era, whatever you will call it, like the 21st century, we're finally like it's been the past 40 years, we're starting to accept, people starting to come out, and there's still that challenge in there. It's not like I'm born like this. So what? Just like I'm born a female, I'm a female, like so settled. Now we have to like identify it. We have to like work that ground to even own that. Mm-hmm. So now we're shifting to something, what I'm sensing in the collective is we're shifting to something is like, hey, once I get in touch with that, then that's it. It's an ownership piece. Then I am just it. Whatever that he, she, or however, whoever you are, however, like all of the spectrum of LGBTQ and then the rest of it, like we're stepping into that new era of owning that without having to even go through the hardship of it. So it's going to become less and less like effort, mm-hmm. Like that's what I'm sensing.
Yeah. And I feel like just bringing to awareness and not having people like make themselves wrong for it, right? Because sometimes this energy, you're born with it, but then what do you do with it? Like, and people are like, oh, you need to go to like, oh man, this is where religion's starting to come up, and I guess just talking about it will just clear it out, right? Mm-hmm. But there's so much suppression in sexuality, and if 75% of people are mainly their motor is in their sacral, think of how many people are suppressed. And past life, and so last night I've been practicing lucid dreaming, and so I shared in my last video there I found out that there's 4 to 5 twin flames that I came into contact with, and originally I thought like, oh, there's only one twin flame, like I was so adamant about it, mm-hmm. And then I'm starting to realize like, oh my god, a lot of these twin flame energies are coming through, and it's interesting that to tap into our lifetime together in the Roman era, it's like, it's just so much freedom and fun. And then I tap into my other twin flame relation back in Egypt, and I see like how we're leaders. And then I tap into my royalty twin flames, and all these different twin flame connection. Like I sense it. Like I was there and I experienced it. So it's kind of like how you could kind of relate to this is if the other person comes to you as a, say, hey, I feel like there's a deep connection. Like maybe you're my twin flame, right? Rather than resisting and pushing them away, right? Tune in. One, you can use pendulum, use these tools to tune in and don't make it wrong. And yeah, it's kind of like amnesia. Like you get in a car accident and you wake up and you don't remember anybody in your family. You're like starting this new life over, but then these people in your family keeps coming back and say, hey, we were lovers, or we were married, we were your family. But here, you don't remember in this new lifetime. And then eventually, once you start getting glimpses of it, it's like, wow, we did share those lifetimes. We did share those moments. It was a beautiful unfolding at that point in time, right? And so now we're starting over with this new lifetime. And I sense there is if I'm bringing to awareness that a lot of twin flame energies are coming through, then I also sense that my twin flame is very close, right? And I had 2 people narrowed down, which I'm not going to put that restriction on it because it could be embodied, right? Same as you, because since you are such a clear vessel, I sense this twin flame energy embodying through you. And it's like, it feels familiarity. And I noticed that like very conscious people, when we speak, we come from a place with no judgment and no, we don't make others wrong and just listen. It's like, wow, this other half of me is coming through. And one thing you share with me, like you're very good at receiving. Very good at receiving. It's like, oh, don't like people, you make people so easily fall in love with you. Well, here's one thing I want to acknowledge you too, right? Is your energy is so healing. Like you bring that energy to the table where people just talk, right? And I think at the end of the day, people just want to hear like they're safe. They can share anything. And they just be open and honest and trust.
Yeah.
That's what you bring to the table. And just talking it out just brings a lot of clarity to that as well.
Totally. And I think the whole thing about, past life, waking up to a new reality, if you really look at it, it's all about completing the karma in the past life. But what is karma is, it isn't what we thought it is for, I don't know how long we've been knowing things like, oh, karma is do good things come to you, do bad things come to you. It's not actually that. Karma in Sanskrit actually means action. The action and choice. So when you're looking at karmic connection, past life, you're meeting that twin flame. It's for you to now look at with this new creation, new connection. You're forming something new. Now you have a new choice to make. Like I have past life that the dramatic boyfriend, and then that I was dramatic and he was dramatic probably. We're probably like Shakespeare period. I don't know. But what it is it came to a point that he broke my heart in so many lifetimes. When it comes to this lifetime, we have such difference in life, but we love each other so much, but he broke up with me. And what I had to learn is to not die in a heartache, die with a broken heart in this lifetime, which the situation, what's manifested into this lifetime, we have a huge age gap to where we recognize we're just in different stages of life. It's okay that he broke up with me. When I was able to let that go, he was actually chasing me, wanting to get back together for months and months and even years. And then I was just like, no, I'm complete. I got that. It is okay to let what I love go. And it serves the path. It serves for us to be in together for that season. And once that season is done, it's okay to let go. There's something else is waiting for you. There's other healings to do. There's other people to meet. So then I'm no longer bound by that karma piece, that karma tie. So if I were to cut cords before that and I don't want to deal with that, just get out of my field. I can't believe you break up with me. Then I'm not completing anything. I'm in that same thing in heartache and broken hearts and gonna manifest another person to break my heart with the essence of him. I mean, dude, treat me like a princess and serve me like a queen. It was really sweet and nice. But it wasn't a match in that sense. It's meant for us to have the interaction so I can get complete with it. And in the biggest gift inside of that, during the relationship, what I didn't see is comes after the breakup is I learned what self-love is. I had a period of, I completely discovered who I am. And I learned how to take care of myself because he taught me how to treat myself like a princess. Let myself be the queen. Then what comes after that is I manifest the best relationship I ever had.
I mean, if you want to know the secret to the end of all of this is self-love. And it's a process to get there because I feel like the experience needs to happen for you to feel what it's like, the pain, to appreciate the gain.
Yeah, there you go.
Right. And if you're seeking for this twin flame, this flame mate, it's like, I think we're both aware, like, okay, it's all self-love, like love ourselves, right? But then it's really cool to know that, hey, there's like this, our other half out there. Like before the split from the original flame, because Source is gonna wake up and say, oh, this like, oh, I get it. Like this is my game. But then let me go back and enjoy this journey.
Yeah. Well, the keys to that whole past life, bringing into this lifetime, meeting your twin flame is the acceptance of the divine perfection in things. Because when you're fighting against it, why is this happening to me? Why is it you again? Like, what am I noticing inside of the connection? Like, you got to start looking at, what do I know about this connection? Has it show up from another person? Or do they have the same energy that I feel? What do I sense in their energy field? It's the same thing that I feel over here. Meaning they trigger something over here, then you will feel a certain way. I used to have very dominant people in my energy field. Like they're dominating, I'm submissive. And it took me go through 2 major relationships to get clear that, oh my God, like I need to own me. But that also comes after discovering self-love. So there's like this intricacy in different timeline. Then you just go through each process. Then you strengthen what it is there for you to learn about yourself and who you truly are. Then you can live in that. And then everything's like clear.
It's a leveling up, right? And remember, guys, like, we've done a lot of work in like purging, cutting cords, and like taking back our energy. And just remember, it's not an overnight thing. Because there are times when, like, after I purge, I get so depleted. Right? We need the time to integrate as well. It's just as important as clear. There's time to integrate. And like, don't be like, I think someone commented like, oh, you guys make it so easy. But I just like when they're back and like when you're connected to this video, you're gonna feel a lot of lightness because we're channeling, anchoring in that light. But then when you go back to your reality, it's like, why is it so hard? Right? It's a process, it's an evolution, and healing takes time. And embrace your body, pay attention to your body and see what is it asking of you, what keeps showing up, and tune into that.
What I want to say about this whole thing, like the healing part is like cooking a meal or cooking a pot of soup. There are times to put this ingredients in there and that ingredients in there. Some can go first and it takes a little longer to brew. Some could be like, oh, it's just salt. You just put it in and it's in there. But if you like have a really thick chunk of meat, I like to cook. That's why I use cooking as an analogy. Like it needs that flavor to come out. You're making bone broth. It's gonna take you hours to do that and brew and be in that. And that's okay, because that's when it brings out the flavor. So it isn't about like, oh, this thing takes longer than the other. It's like, no, it's just what is needed in there and it's divinely perfect. And each ingredient is also divinely perfect. You're gonna get everything that you ask for.
And so that's a general part. But we're going to touch on how Moldavite correlates to this in another episode. Because we're going to try and keep this short so that you guys can take it like little bits at a time. Because I also noticed about generators, like people are, okay, if you're vibrating with me, then we're pretty similar, right? So generators, when we get too much information coming in at once, I would freeze or I would just like shut off. like I can't process anymore. Like it's too much information. And so we're going to do our best to give you little chunks at a time for you to process and get. And yeah, today is like we channel all this information. Now we just need to put it into perspective and relate it to how we can share it with you guys, right? And it's through our personal experience, through different tools we use. We're going to try to keep this short, under 20 minutes. Today is brief on past life and twin flames from Rhinny's perspective. And if you want to hear my perspective, is yesterday's video. Yeah. Exploration, curiosity, like whatever lights you up, follow that. Passion is a very powerful energy. And when people say you can't make money in a passion, I would open up possibilities that, hey, there's definitely routes to do that. All right, let us know if you enjoyed it, what other questions you have, and what other topics you want to touch on base next. So we're going to keep this consistent flowing. We're going to see where this takes us. And I'm just going to say we're some pretty damn good teachers.
Own it, girl, own it.
Everyone for tuning in. Tammy Doe and
It's like Rhinny.
signing off. We love you guys. Bye.